Today we're going to talk about Metahuman 5.6, including new editor, live link mockup, and of course custom clothing and exporting to DCC app with new licensing, of course. And apparently now Epic allowing that. So I'm so excited for that, honestly. So let's begin. Hi everyone, this is Dyson. Welcome to my channel, and everything we are doing here in simple and yet a clever way without any complexity. So we are hunting new and simple but a clever solution for you guys. So without further ado, why the heck Metahuman? Why we are so upset with Metahuman? So I want to answer that with this. You see, this amazing Metahuman and this skin detail, you see the hair and the eyes, wow, that's amazing. And these days you can do that in one click in Metahuman, so why not? That's why we are obsessed with Metahuman. So in this video I will give you an overview of these three tutorials on our website. So the first one is Metahuman to Houdini. If you have a cool Metahuman and if you want to render that in Houdini with Karma, we'll show you how you can do that with this new Metahuman 5.6. And the second one, if you have a character, for example, this character, if you want to bring it to Metahuman and make a Metahuman of it, of course, we will show you in this second tutorial. And the third one, I will show you a new live link mocap facial animation in Metahuman 5.6. So we're gonna see an overview in this video of these three tutorials. So if you're interested in full detailed tutorial like this, guys, this is all members in our website. You can subscribe and check these three tutorials. And of course, now we have prizes for you guys. If you subscribe, we have amazing discount code for buying our stuff. And yeah, check that out, prize room. So without further ado, let's begin. In order to enable your Metahuman in editor, you need to go to the option here and enable this Metahuman creator core data. So after that, it will download this data and enable your plugin. And of course, now we have Metahuman creator. Let me show you what is that. This is the big surprise, guys. So this is the new editor instead of online website editor. Now we have it as a local in our PC. And this is honestly a nice editor and so responsive. And everyone talk about that. Of course, you can customize your Metahuman, sculpting that as you can see with these sculpt tools. And you can go with the teeth and color skin, of course. You can choose your makeup, color eye. And of course, you can choose this hairstyle and mustache. Why not? A woman with mustache. I don't know. This is crazy stuff. And of course, you can change this studio light in here. But I'm interested in this assembly tab. And as you can see, we have a bunch of options. You see, DCC export. We're going to talk about that later on. But first, I want to go with the first one. I want to export this to UE complete version, and I want to give it a name. And as you can see, it's not rigged. Let's create full rig. So this will give this Metahuman a rig like Miximo, if you familiar with that. And as you can see, now we have our rig. You need to have a patient. I am speed up in this video, of course. And now, as you can see, it's saying you need to download the texture. And after that, boom, we have the assembly, green and charming. So after you assemble this one, you can go in content browser and voila. This is the blueprint Metahuman. You see, this is cool and amazing. And that's a nice workflow, honestly. So easy to do instead of online solution. So now let's say you want this Metahuman to your DCC app like Blender, Maya, Cinema 4D or Houdini. So because the licensing now allow that, you can go in here and choose DCC export. So so exciting for that, honestly. And choose output folder and let's assemble that. So we are exporting MetaHuman character to DCC. Wow, that's so amazing, honestly. This is the first time. If you know MetaHuman, it's so headache to export that to DCC. So as you can see, this is our folder. Nice. We have, yeah, we have PNG and we have maps. Cool. This is necessary. And we have mask and map and shader. So what is that? And we have body DNA and head DNA. What the heck is FBX and all this stuff? So let me read this DNA. So it's not readable in Houdini. So what the heck? What's the problem? Let me search for something like MetaHuman for Houdini. And luckily we have a plugin by Epic called MetaHuman for Houdini. So that's cool. I think this is cool. We'll read MetaHuman DNA. So as you can see in Fab, as you can see, this is all about Chrome. Really? So let me create it in this library and let's view it in launcher. I wanna be sure for that. And as you can see, this MetaHuman for Houdini installed to engine. We cannot install it. That's odd. And based on the documentation, yeah, we need to go to this directory and install MetaHuman MSI. This is a Windows setup. And as you can see, sorry, Windows installer. And as you can see, let's go here and content, and we have Windows installer. So we are in the track. So let's install that and let's finish and let's go to Houdini. Of course, we have now a bunch of MetaHuman HDA, but wait a minute. All that it's for grooming. There is nothing like importing MetaHuman DNA. So that's a problem. So as the documentation mentioned here, this is a collection of HDA for grooming stuff and exporting that. But I'm not interested in grooming right now. So guess what? I figured out they have MetaHuman for Maya and all this cool stuff and expression stuff in these plugins. So it's not fair, honestly. You see, all that we need just for Maya for now. So that's not good. So we're gonna do it in all the school. So if you want this MetaHuman to your DCC app, all you want to do is go to every component in here and select that in content browser, and you can right click on it and asset action, and you can export that as a FVX. So, and of course the texture too, and you can read that in Houdini like that. You see, this is old school. So for now, we don't have anything to read this DNA. So this is if you want to have your MetaHuman in your DCC app. So now, what if you want your custom character or custom clothing to your MetaHuman? So this is simple, but not that simple. So for example, now in Fab, we have section called MetaHuman. You can have all these custom clothing. And of course, you can make sure of this parametric clothing for different body type. It will resize based on your MetaHuman body type. But what if we have this character in our Houdini setup or Cinema 4D? And of course, this character I painted with PaintX. If you're not familiar with PaintX, watch this video. And as you can see, I painted and it's have UDIM setup, and this is our texture. You see, so we have the character and with the texture. And now, in order to export this character to MetaHuman, we need body skeleton or MetaHuman skeleton. We need to bind these two geometry with the skeleton. As you can see, this is our skeleton and this is our character. So I will use MocaX, our HDA, to bind this geometry with this skeleton. Of course, the full detail of this tutorial is in our website. If you're interested, just watch it. And as you can see, I bind this skeleton with this character. You see? So that's so crucial. We need that. And of course, after that, I will export it as a FBX file. And in this menu, I will bind it in skeleton MetaHuman. And of course, this is our mesh. And in Blueprint, easy. You can add skeleton mesh and you can add it in here. And of course, we added UDIM and material on the full detail on our website if you're interested. And this is our mesh with UDIM setup. And this is our MetaHuman head. So what about body animation? I record this using Move One. We talk about that a lot in this channel. Watch this video. You see, we have this motion capture, and this is the skeleton Move One give us. You see that? This is FX. But this is Move One skeleton. We need to retarget that with MetaHuman skeleton. You see this one. So luckily we have MocaX retargeting future. This is with one click, of course. You see, I'm just connecting the source and the target skeleton, and watch the magic now. And now you can go to MetaHuman. Of course, you can target it to Miximo, and voila. Now your MetaHuman skeleton doing all your mocap animation. Wow, that's amazing, honestly, and interesting. So I export that as a FVX animation, and we have our animation. And of course, in sequencer, you can have that like that. You see, we talk about that in full detail in our tutorial if you're interested. And you see, we have our animation. And now with this new setup, new releases, you can paint your weight skin if you're not happy with it. So this is the skeleton mesh, but we have an issue. You see, the clothing is not good. You see, it's not good. I want to convert that to cloth asset. So as you can see, we convert that as a cloth, and I select this area to have a simulation of chaos cloth. And as you can see, if I hit simulation, and we have our animation now, and we have our simulation cloth. You see, that's amazing, of course. And what about facial animation? We missing facial animation. So I will use this iron webcam, and this is amazing for Android and iOS, and it's have Windows app. So it's server and client. And as you can see, this is the iPhone app, and this is the Windows app. And of course, from live link, you can go with MetaHuman video and connect these two. You see, now this is live mocap. But the problem is I have body animation too. You see, it's so interesting, honestly, with eye movement. Wow, that's amazing. But the problem is I have body animation. And bro, I tried a lot with this take recorder, and I didn't find any way to combine this recording mocap with our body mocap. So I went to MetaHuman Performance, and as you can see, this is our video. So after that, I opened this live link hub from tools, and the capture, it's moving here, as you can see, and I process this video, as you can see, as a MetaHuman Performance. And after that, I export it without head rotation, and you see now we have our MetaHuman body and facial animations. You see, we did all these package with these 3 tutorial in our website. And if you're interested, subscribe, and you can have that in full detail. And this is not about the quality, just I wanted to show you the approach and the solution now. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this one. Goodbye.